Welcome back, everybody. Episode 77 of Canes Local. We'll take a look at tonight's game against the Vegas Golden Knights, the road trip, and injuries coming up next. All right, well, let's take a first spin through tonight's game. We hung in there with them. They go down 6. They lose a hard one 6-3 to the Knights here at home. First one back off a 6-game road trip. But I think overall, what was your take on or perspective on how everybody looked given the lineup or how short-staffed we were from all aspects of the game.
Yeah, and I think it just goes to show that it's really super hard to hide inexperienced defensemen. Yep. It's really hard to hide. You can hide a forward that's not the most experienced. Like, you can hide Nadeau. Like, I didn't really notice Nadeau, good or bad, tonight. So you can hide those players, but It's still hard to hide, especially when you have 3 defensemen in the lineup that are rookies, like legitimate rookies. Like all 3 of them are like seriously, like have not played a single game. This is their first couple games they've played. So interesting decision to play Fensori over Riley. I would say that's the only kind of gripe I do have. I thought Riley played pretty well.
It was pretty good. Yeah, no, I
thought he was too. I mean, I know, and that's what confuses me more is like with Ghost coming back, it's like, well, then why do you need Fensori in the lineup? Like, I don't know. Do you just want to give him his first game? Like what kind of happened? But he got bullied out there, and that's kind of the issue I've had with him the whole time is he's not strong enough yet. I don't know if he might get there, but he's getting bullied. So
and I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, I don't know what happened with Riley. If he's maybe I don't know if he was hurt, what it was. I know he says he's a healthy scratch, but I just didn't seem like a Fensori add to the lineup. I'm 100% with you. Was right against the big Vegas forwards. I mean, Vegas is big on the front end. They're strong.
Yeah, they're huge.
I mean, even against our big guys. I mean, Walker was struggling with them, and even Chatfield was struggling with them. And we saw those guys play minutes they don't normally play tonight. And Nikishin, I thought he had other than a couple of spots throughout the game, I thought he had an excellent game. I thought it was probably one of his best games. He got a lot of minutes, got a lot of activity. Exciting to see that. Would he have gotten that much experience and that much ice time? Obviously, if we have a full lineup, no, I don't think so. But at the same time, I think he's really shown himself to everybody that's watching the Hurricanes that he is the real deal, and hide and watch, because he's going to be something special to watch as years progress. And hopefully, he's always wearing a Carolina sweater as he goes through there. So, how about the forward side? I mean, I have a lot of opinions on the forward side. I think I'll start there and I'll let you dive into it. We just looked a little disconnected tonight. I mean, Aho didn't look like he was connected. Ehlers, that top line didn't look very connected. At times they did, but for the most part, it almost looked like they were trying too hard. And then towards the latter part of the game, early on, Blake and Stankoven and Hall were doing the same thing. They were trying to do too much. And that line simplified their game. And that Stankoven goal, 100%, Jackson Blake created that goal. Whenever you see a coach, or ever you hear a coach or anybody say it takes a hit to make a play, that's what he means, because he took a hit to make a play and still got the puck across the ice to Hall and to Stankoven, and it was a great play. But I think overall we looked a little bit disconnected up front.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough too because I think more of it is that they're, and I don't know if it's necessarily Rod saying this, but when you're down that many defensemen, you're kind of at the point where you're less willing to take risk. There was a lot of like just flip outs and icing the puck and everything. They were just trying to they were in survival mode, I think, for probably 85% of that game.
Yeah.
Just trying to live to see another day. And it's hard as a forward. I mean, I didn't play forward, but as a forward, knowing that like, hey, our defense is kind of beat up, like we need to help them. So they're going to overcompensate on the D side of the puck and not try and push and stretch too far forward. Try not to take extra chances. Try not to, even with the cycle stuff. I mean, the fourth goal was, unfortunately, Nystrom kind of just tossed it into Hall's feet, and Hall had to kind of try and make the best of it. And unfortunately, it didn't work out. So, and again, would that happen if instead of Nystrom, it was Jacob Slavin? Probably not.
Yeah.
Keandre Miller, probably not. Ghost, probably not. Like it's, that kind of can lead into, I mean, it's just like with any area that's lacking, I guess. If you're lacking in the goaltending side, then you're really worried. You want to block more shots because you're really worried about the puck getting in the net. If you can't score goals, then you're gripping the stick even tighter to try and not let them in. So,
yeah,
I mean, that's why they were rolling the first 5 games. I mean, they just kind of had a flow and they just kind of going with it. But with all these injuries, man,
I think it's
just hurt.
I think the other thing too that people should understand is that the last 4 games have legitimately against cup contenders, and to play those games as closely as we did with as beat up a lineup as we have, Freddie, and we'll swing in, maybe we'll transition into the road trip, but Freddie in that Colorado game was absolutely electric. He was outstanding.
Yeah.
I think, but what it does show overall is that the depth to play a game like we did in Dallas, to play a game like we did in Colorado, even the Vegas game where we lost 4-1, I still think we played really well in that game. It wasn't as far out of reach as the score. We had 2 own goals on that, basically. One went in off Ehlers and one went off, or no, not Ehlers, but
in the Dallas game, yeah.
The Dallas game was Ehlers and
then Riley right off his glove. Yeah.
So, I think we got to really be patient here because, we all fail to realize you can if you're missing 4 top forwards, you can win games and play games much easier than you can if you're missing the likes of Keandre Miller and Jacob Slavin. So and Gostisbehere. So anyway, I think
the first period. So
I think the road trip, I think everybody should be excited about the road trip, the depth, the way the goalies played, and let's not forget, that waiver wire pickup backup goaltender. I think he was exceptional on the road trip.
Yeah, he was really good. I mean, he showed up when he needed to. It sounds like Kochetkov is close, and hopefully they don't waive him to try and send him down, because somebody probably will pick him up. So you hope that they just kind of roll with 3 goalies for the time being, maybe until they get a little bit deeper in the season. Maybe there's a trade position that comes up where Bussy can be part of that. But overall, I think he played really well. He stood in there, and it was against, good teams, like NHL caliber teams, and he played really, really well. So, I will say this is probably the first time in a couple years, none of these losses have been because goaltending was spotty.
Yeah.
None of them.
Yeah.
Not a one.
No. And I think the 2 losses of Carrier and Eric Robinson on the front side in the Colorado game, they take away, we lose a real heaviness to our front line. We do. We lose we just don't have that right now. I mean, we have Martinook, okay, but that's it. I mean, Jankowski is not as heavy because he's not as quick.
He's better tonight.
He's not as absolutely 100%.
Yeah.
I thought he was, other than taking a couple of penalties, which I think are quite questionable, quite honestly. But I think the one on the hands, you got him on the hands, but the trip, come on.
The trip, I mean, dude, and especially when he gets dumped like 5 minutes left in the third,
I
and
know.
by Marner. Marner literally dives and takes him out. I don't. Anyway,
Yeah. So,
the
anyways,
refs are another point, but yeah,
so
it's
but
yeah. I mean, they just the survival mode is what it's felt like that game
yeah,
was. It was just survival mode. So it wasn't that way the whole trip for sure.
yeah,
They definitely dominated some games, but yeah, Vegas is they're big and strong, and they got a lot of firepower. So you
yeah,
give them the opportunity, and that's kind of where the Canes were at the end of the third. There, that's why the score ended up being what it was. Is they just ran out of gas. The D had nothing
the
left.
power. Yeah, well, 100% agree. The power of Jack Eichel exploded tonight. I mean, he shows why was a number 1 pick, number 2 pick.
I think he was 2,
He
yeah,
goes 2 behind
McDavid.
McDavid. So it shows why he was up there, and he just plays the game so almost like effortlessly. It's like he's not like he's not even trying, but he just looks like he just is flowing. This a free flow. It's quick. He looks like he's going slow, but he's going so stinking fast. It's unbelievable. You know, I told Kyle this the other day. Maybe I told you. He skates. He's the only guy that I could see skate that doesn't look like he's moving his feet, but is moving 100 miles an hour. He just uses that. He pushes. He rocks back and forth. He gets his lower body down.
Yeah,
and he just moves so quickly.
yeah,
And he's got, like I said, maybe it was Kyle. He's got such a weird skating style. He's like he's sitting. It was Kyle. It was like he's sitting in a chair. Every time he's
yeah.
skating down the ice, it's like he's sitting in a chair. But he's got a ton of power. So, but anyways, I said so. Road trip. I'm glad 8 points out of 12. You can't beat that. I think last year, I don't know what we did last. I can't remember what we did last year. I think we almost went 500 last year.
I think it was either one game below 500 or 500.
Yeah. So I'll take it. 6-2 coming out of the road trip. Obviously 6-3 after tonight, the loss to Vegas, but still, we're heading into the meat of the schedule. Last time we'll see Vegas. Next time we'll see him is in the Stanley Cup final. So,
yep.
So it was all in all, I like the compete from most everybody tonight. I like that Ehlers was getting, scrappy towards the end, starting to show a little bit of emotion. He needs to get the goal off his back. Once he does that, he's going to open wide open. So,
yep.
We got the Islanders coming to town on Thursday. So maybe, not to say that that's going to be an easier game, but it could be one of those games that some guys that are struggling to get some confidence on the scoring side can break free. So anyways, we'll see what happens, but hopefully, injuries. I think Slavin's a couple of weeks out. How about Miller? I haven't heard much on him.
I think he's closer than Slavin. From what I've seen, he's closer than Slavin, so he's probably a week or 2. Slavin's probably still a month, I would think. So Slavin's 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, well,
at least.
Hey, I'll look at Gostisbehere. I mean, he went out again tonight. Hopefully that's just a precautionary that he felt something weird.
I doubt it.
Me too.
I don't know.
I'm trying to.
I know. I know you're trying to think of the positive, but yeah, unfortunately, I think it's going to unfortunately be something that's going to keep him out quite a while. I think he was kind of on the fence if he was okay or not, and I don't think he was. I don't think that one's good. Unfortunately,
so for the next couple of weeks, it's going to be Jalen Chatfield, Sean Walker. It's going to be Nystrom,
Nikishin,
Riley, and Fensori.
Hopefully, they bring Legault back up.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I don't. It's not that I don't like Fensori. He's just.
I think Legault's bigger.
Legault is way bigger and stronger. Yeah. He's more of what the Canes they just need a big body. Like to come up against these guys, these big forwards. Like they just need Fensori's getting tossed around out there, man. And it's not to say that smaller guys can't do the toss, and Stankoven can throw his weight around. Mm-hmm. Like he can get in there. Blake's the same way. Like he can get in and out of stuff anyway. But yeah, I just unfortunately for Fensori, I don't think it's a permanent thing. I think he gets sent back down. I think they recall Legault, and then they probably also recall Giovanni Smith at some point too. I think he ends up circling into the lineup, and Nadeau probably goes back down. I'm thinking
Yeah,
because again, it's
what was the deal with
we
him?
don't really need what Nadeau offers at this point.
Yeah,
You know,
what was the deal with him? I mean, somebody is either do you send it across or somebody that there was a visa issue? Is he?
with Giovanni Smith,
Yeah.
yeah, he had a visa issue. Yeah. So he had just gotten his visa cleared like earlier this week. He played his first game with the Wolves tonight.
So he was
No.
his U.S. work visa to play. Was he
Yeah.
from Can? He's obviously from
I
Canada.
guess he's Canadian. Yeah.
Oh,
That was
okay.
news to me. I didn't realize that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So he got his first look with the Wolves tonight. I expect to see him and Legault called back up. Vensori sent down. Probably Nadeau sent down.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, because Smith is kind of is that what we're looking for? I guess. You know,
Well, I
I
don't
mean, I
know,
didn't think Nadeau played bad,
I think
but
Nadeau needs. I don't think he needs to be sitting in the fourth line playing 6-8 minutes a game.
yeah, I don't think he
Right
does
now.
either. So if you're not going to use him, send him down and
Yeah,
let him play
you
for
need
5
to
minutes. So.
you need to send him down to play minutes, and and Giovanni Smith makes more sense on that fourth line. He brings that heaviness.
Yeah.
He brings a heavier piece to it than Nadeau does. So so we'll see, but so final takeaways for tonight's game, I guess for me is not a bad effort. We just sort of
For
ran
the
out of gas.
circumstances, no. Yeah, I
Just
mean,
ran out of gas.
and Vegas is a good team, man.
Yeah.
Like they're a reason. There's a reason they're a cup contender.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like they are a really good team. And Canes couldn't get a lot as far as ozone time pressure.
Yep.
They've kind of felt the last couple games have been like that.
Yep.
Just with all the injuries and stuff.
Yep.
But if we can get like I obviously Ghost is going to hurt, but if we can get Miller back within the next week and a half, 2 weeks, and then if we can get Slavin back by the end of November, we'll be in a good spot. Now,
Yep.
if the thing that worries me still is I've part of me in my gut, and I really hope this isn't the case, is that Slavin's going to need surgery, and he's just kind of not doing it because he wants to be a part of he wants to be a part of the Olympic team, but B, hoping, that it doesn't end up being like that. I think he's going to end up needing it, and I think he's just kind of nursing it at this point, which I'm okay if he nurses it as long as he's able to play. Like if you could play and nurse it, that's fine. But if you're going to be, play 2 games out 2 months, like just have the surgery, man. Just be back for playoffs.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I'm looking at it. So
yeah,
hopefully he's back soon.
Yeah.
Kochetkov obviously coming off IR probably Thursday. He'll probably play. I would imagine he'll probably play on Thursday.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think either
Robinson Carrier is probably the beginning of the year.
Yeah. Either he'll play or Bussy will play. But I thought Freddie did okay tonight. I think he played okay in the first, maybe not so great in the first. Had a couple of looks where
it wasn't my favorite in the first, but he was not the reason they lost.
He was not, no, but he kept him.
He made some 10
kept
bells
him in
that he needed.
At the second, third, he kept him. He gave him a chance to stay in the game. So
I agree.
So, anyways, any final thoughts before we send everybody on their way after a heartbreaking 6-3 loss to the Vegas Golden Knights?
Yeah, no, I'm nothing really else from me.
No.
Got a game against the Islanders Thursday, and then I think they play Boston on Sunday. So
yeah, they head up to Boston to play them up there at the TD Garden. So, until next time, we'll try to jump on, maybe do a little bit more frequently these post games, and if both Cam and I can stay awake, and Kyle too. Kyle, our absentee ballot member, is I believe he's on his way home from practice, driving home. He coaches a team, so his obligation is there tonight, and we miss him, but we'll get him on next time. So until next time, for Cam and an absentee ballot Kyle and myself, we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great night.